Welcome to the Select Board meeting of Tuesday, June 27th, 2023. Please join the board in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Anthony?
Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted by the state of emergency signed into law March 29, 2023. This meeting will be conducted via remote means and in person. Members of the public who wish to watch the meeting may do so in the following manner. Tune into PAC TV government cable access channels, Comcast Channel 15 or Verizon 47, and watch the meeting as it is aired live. Or you can go to the PAC TV website, pactv.org. Members of the public who wish to participate can do so in the following manner. They can be in the Great Hall, second floor of Town Hall, and then also there is a remote link that is on the agenda that is also posted on the town's website where you can wish to speak. You may click the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen and you'll be placed in a queue and called upon in order by the chair. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Anthony. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And the first item on the docket is a public hearing for annual all-alcohol restaurant license for Do Your Job, Doing Business as the Terrace Harbor Town, 150 Water Street. They will have somebody in the Zoom. I'm going to read the...
Mr. Trifletti is online with us.
Okay. In accordance with Chapter 138 of the Massachusetts General Laws as amended, notice is hereby given and a public hearing will be held remotely on Tuesday, June 27, 2023 at 5 p.m. to consider the application for a new annual all-alcohol restaurant license from Do Your Job Incorporated, doing business as the Terrace at Harbor Town, 150 Water Street, 4th floor, Brian Vogel, manager. Description of the premises is as follows: approximately 8,000 square feet restaurant area, including kitchen, table seating, and bar area. This is a rooftop restaurant with a majority of the table seating located outside. Anyone wishing to be heard on this matter should plan to attend this meeting. Please call the office 747-1620, extension 10106 for info regarding information on remote participation. So I now declare the hearing open, and Mr. Trifletti, welcome, good evening.
Good evening, Chair, Mr. Quintal, and also other members of the board. I'm delighted to be here on behalf of the applicant. This is one of the first times I understood that there was a hearing scheduled that was virtual and not in person. So I apologize if we could have been in person and we're not, but we're here. I'm not seeing on the screen my clients, but I believe they're here with us. Michael Vogel, Craig Vogel, and Brian Vogel. I see now Craig is on the screen, and if we can promote and join Brian and Michael as well, but if not, we can go with Craig, who's available. I don't see him yet on the video, but I'll begin to tell you that the location is 150 Water Street. It's a large building at the Rotary. It's across from Annis Harborside. It's a multi-use building with the restaurant to occupy the 4th floor. The business owner applicant is, as you correctly read in your notice, is Do Your Job, Inc. And that, again, is involving, you'll see the three of them, Michael Vogel, Craig Vogel, Brian Vogel. They're now all with us. The 4th floor unit is owned by and will be leased from 2020 Development, LLC. That's an entity that is also owned by longtime Michael Vogel, who has been involved with this project. There's a 10-year lease. with 2 10-year options to extend. The rent is based on the restaurant's revenue, and most of the restaurant will be open air, outside seating. Michael's son, Brian, is the proposed manager for the liquor license. He used to manage Main Street Extension Tavern in Plymouth, so he has experience. The seating will be approximately 210 people, and they are here and available to answer questions from the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Would any of the Vogels like to say anything, or you just want to wait for questions, if there are any?
Mr. Chair, I believe that they are available to answer questions related
Okay.
to anything you might ask, but in particular, if there are questions regarding parking or seating, they are familiar and prepared to answer.
Okay. Well, I'm going to,
yes.
all right, before I get to that, I want to open it up to the public. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of this application? Please identify yourself for the record.
Rich Cirque, Precinct 2. I actually don't want to speak in favor or opposed, but there are 8 other licenses that are listed on the agenda, and I think your vote needs to refer to all of them, doesn't it?
We do the general one first, then we do the other ones
Okay.
after.
All right.
But thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this application? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Nobody online? Okay, I'm going to bring it back to the board and close the hearing for any questions or a motion.
I have a few questions, just to clarify some things for the board. I was actually there, I toured it, the facility today. But I just had a few questions I just want, so everybody understands. The parking situation for it's, how many seats, 200 seats? I believe, Craig, you might want to address this.
Yes, 214 seats.
Right.
114 being year-round and 100 being seasonal.
Okay. And everything you went before so everything's, parking fund's all set? How does the
Yes.
parking work completely with all the retail?
So the building has been grandfathered for rights up to 81 parking spots per zoning approval February 24th, 2015. The property actually has 29 parking spots and 4 spaces in parking garages provided on site. We had a shortage of parking spots, so the restaurant had purchased 15 additional spots from the parking fund and paid $25,000 into the parking fund to accommodate those seats in our occupancy.
Okay. The egress getting in, what kind of egress do you have for the public to get in? I know you have an elevator.
Yep. So the public will access the terrace rooftop from a lobby at 150 Water Street.
Right.
They will primarily use the public elevator and the main staircase to go to the 4th floor. The building also has 2 more staircases and an additional private elevator. The main staircase and public elevator will open up to a lobby on the 4th floor where a hostess station will be in the entrance to the restaurant. During the summer months, we will have a second hostess station on the ground floor to control the flow of customers going up to the 4th floor.
So the public won't be able to access the private, the residents? They'll have no access?
No.
So it's, you're going to have dining, a lot of dining primarily, and what type of menu are you expecting to have?
It will be American cuisine, upscale, but not too formal.
And with entertainment, yeah, and with entertainment, what are you planning on to do for entertainment?
So the building is mixed use. We've got tenants below, and we have to respect them, and we want to just do something real light acoustic, not like drums or full bands or DJs. That's not the environment that we want, but we'd like to be able to do some light acoustic stuff.
And also what, like house music, amplified, like house music, like a sound system? Okay, yep.
Yes, so we have like Sirius XM radio, and we can control, the volume with a switch. And even when we have acoustic music or a live musician playing, he'll plug into our house music and we'll be able to turn it down ourselves.
And obviously, those 214 seats are weather permitting. Obviously, in the winter and in the rainy days, you wouldn't be able to use that seating. So-
Indoors, year-round, we've got 76 seats. During the summer seasons, we've got an additional 100 seasonal outdoor seating. We also have some standing room located on the outdoor deck, which would include more customers. Our total occupancy, including employees' standing room, the year-round seats, and the seasonal outdoor seats, is 300.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's all the questions I have.
Any other questions or comments from the board? John?
No, I was able to, a couple weeks ago, I was able to tour the facility with Craig Vogel, and it's a very impressive space, and Mr. Bletzer had asked my question. My question would have been along the line of the entertainment with respect to noise and volume, and my question was answered when Mr. Vogel was talking about the acoustic and not bringing in live bands and things like that.
Any other questions? A motion on the the all alcohol license?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Bletzer, second by Mr. Mahoney. Discussion? Mr. Bletzer?
Yes.
Mr. Canty?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney? Yes. Mr. Helm?
Yes.
And myself, yes, unanimous. Now, in addition to that, we have common vitula, comprehensive entertainment, group 1, 2, 3, radio, TV, dance, and live entertainment, Sunday entertainment, live entertainment, DJ band, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., early Sunday sales, 10 a.m., extension of hours, 1 a.m., outdoor amplified music permit, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., Monday through Sunday for bands and DJ. I don't know if the board wishes to take these separate or all together.
I'll move them as a group.
Second?
Moved by Mr. Mahoney, seconded by Mr. Canty. All those in favor, Mr. Helm?
Yes.
Mr. Bletzer?
Yes.
Mr. Canty?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Congratulations. We wish you the best of luck. And I've been to a rooftop very similar to this in St. Martin. It's been a while since I've been there, probably 12 years, 10 years, but you're going to do great there. It's awesome. I've always had that idea in my head, but I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Public comment? Anyone? Mr. Cirque?
Rich Cirque, Precinct 2, Town Meeting Member. At your meeting last week, one of your agenda items was a 3-year appointment to the Community Preservation Committee. One of the applicants was Joan Bartlett, the incumbent, a member of the CPC for 18 years. The other applicant was Betty Cavaco, a former member of this board. This room was filled with people who wanted to speak on this appointment. Many, if not most of them, wanted to speak in support of Ms. Bartlett. The board, however, refused to allow members of the public to speak. Instead, the board simply proceeded to vote unanimously to appoint Ms. Cavaco. This left the public with no opportunity to speak until the public comments section of the meeting. But the public comment section of the meeting was placed after and not before the licenses and administrative notes section of the meeting, which included the topic of this appointment. Public comment is normally heard before and not after licenses and administrative notes. Why then did you, or the town manager, depart from past practice by putting public comment at the back of your agenda to a place after this appointment had already been made? The obvious reason, in my opinion, was because your minds had already been made up, in probable violation of the open meeting law's prohibition against serial communications among less than a quorum of board members prior to a meeting, if, taken together, they constitute communications among a quorum. Only a fool would believe that no such communications among you had occurred prior to your meeting last week. The statements by Ms. Bartlett and Ms. Cavaco in their own behalf were just for show, because each of you had already made up your mind beforehand that Ms. Cavaco would get the appointment. In other words, the fix was already in. Section 2.0 of this board's policies and procedures, which date back to 1995, provides as follows, and I quote, "If the board is considering matters of citizen concern at a regular meeting, the public will be allowed to ask questions or make comments relative to the matter under consideration at the discretion of the chairman or upon request of any member of the board," close quote.
Mr. Cirque, you had 3 minutes.
Pardon me?
You've had 3 minutes.
May I have 1.5 more minutes?
Yeah, this time.
Thank you. I can think of no reason why the chairman did not exercise his discretion to allow the public to speak before your vote was taken. I can think of no reason why the other members of the board did not request that the public be allowed to speak before your vote was taken. One of your chief criticisms of the CPC as presently constituted was the claim that the CPC had allegedly prevented members of the public from attending and speaking at a recent CPC meeting. Ms. Cavaco and members of this board invoked the First Amendment rights of the persons whose voices were allegedly silenced by the CPC at that meeting. At your meeting last week, the board asked Ms. Cavaco whether she would be comfortable with CPC meetings being opened to the public so that the public could fully participate in them. No sooner had that issue been raised than this board proceeded to bar all members of the public from speaking at your meeting, after which you immediately proceeded to unanimously vote to appoint Ms. Cavaco. Such hypocrisy. After lambasting the CPC for allegedly shutting out the public, you engaged in the same behavior by shutting out the public yourselves. Such hypocrisy. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak on the public comment? Okay, we're going to move on to licenses and administrative notes. Is there any questions? If not, we'll take them, all three of the administrative notes, along with... Yes, 2 licenses. There's been a third added, and that was a pole easement, correct, Anthony?
Yes.
If there are no questions, I would make a motion that we approve the 2 licenses and 3 administrative notes as a group.
Second.
Discussion? Mr. Helm?
Yes.
Mr. Blitzer?
Yes.
Mr. Canty?
Yes.
And Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Thank you. I just want to also note that the Plymouth Lions Club recently made a donation of $500 to the Center for Active Living. Thank you very much to all our clients. That was very nice. Now we're going to adjourn the open session and go into executive session. Motion to adjourn open session?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Blitzer,
Second,
second by Mr. Canty.
I assume we're not returning to open at the end, right?
Right, no. Thank you. So the Select Board will hold an executive session pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, Clause 6, to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if the chair declares that an open meeting may have detrimental effect on the negotiation position of the public body, and the chair so declares that the board will not return to open session after the conclusion of the executive session. 158 Center Hill Road lease. Should I have a motion?
Mr. Blitzer moved, I seconded.
Okay, I thought that was to close the first one. Okay. Mr. Blitzer?
Yes.
Mr. Helm?
Yes.
Mr. Canty?
Yes.
And Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Thank you very much for watching. Have a good week. The board will not be returning. Have a safe 4th, and good night.